I promise that this channel is not about to be all about my pregnancy. However, the babies have been craving omelets. So I asked all of you for some inspiration and I got 5 amazing omelet recipes to try from 5 different countries. I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure the babies are excited. Let's try some omelets.
Hi Beryl, my name is Ursula and I live in New York City. My mom came from Germany and my dad came from Japan. Today I'd like to tell you about a very easy omelet, Omurice, the name of which is a combination of the words omelet and rice. Rice omelet was invented in Japan in the early 20th century and was one of the dishes known as yoshoku, which is food adapted from Western cuisine. Other dishes include spaghetti and ketchup, or Tabasco, croquettes, and hambagu. My dad was born in 1927, so this early version would have been what he was familiar with. It was literally the only thing my dad could cook.
So Ursula said that she uses a square pan. It's this type of pan for tamagoyaki, which is a Japanese rolled egg dish. This is one of my favorite egg pans, so I will also be using my square pan. I'll leave a link to it in the description if anyone is interested in buying one. They are the best. I just love making eggs in this.
It is very simple. Scramble some eggs in a bowl, take leftover rice in another bowl, and add some ketchup to taste. Mix up the rice. Pour the egg into a pan, using whatever fat you'd like to keep it from sticking. I like to use butter. And let it firm up a bit. Add the rice to one side of the omelet, flip the other side over, and flip the whole thing once. My experience has always been to add less rice than you want to, otherwise the omelet may not fold over completely. You can zhuzh this dish up by using leftover fried rice, or adding really anything to the plain rice. I don't add any salt and pepper, but feel free to season it any way you'd like. You can think of plain rice, ketchup, and egg as sort of a blank canvas. But for a quick, tasty, and satisfying easy meal, I just use plain rice and ketchup. And I think of my dad whenever I make it.
This one kind of looks like a photo. I don't know, maybe it's the ketchup on top, but I feel like it looks really good. Delicious. What a great use for leftover rice. The ketchup in the rice makes it a little bit sweet, and then the ketchup on top obviously adds a little bit more sweetness, but the inside with the ketchup rice is really good. I mean, I'm very American in the fact that I love ketchup with my eggs. It's one of my favorite combinations, but I know that not everybody likes ketchup with their eggs. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about the ketchup and egg combination? This is a really great breakfast to make because you kind of don't need toast with it because the rice is giving you the carbs that you might want in the morning. It's just hitting the spot and I'm down. When I have leftover rice, I will definitely be making this again. I would highly recommend if you have leftover rice to try it out. Super simple to do, cozy, tastes really good, has ketchup, yum. I'm excited to tell you all about Suvie, the sponsor of today's episode. Suvie is more than a kitchen gadget. It's a smart countertop oven and meal delivery kit service. It has a slim and sleek design that will fit almost any kitchen, including my tiny one here in New York City. And there are a few things that I really love about it. Number 1, it takes just minutes to get dinner ready. And numbers 2, 3, and 4, there's no planning, no prep, and there's really minimal cleanup. It's simple to use. You're gonna load your meal, tap the corresponding recipe card on the sous vide, and it will cook it. You can even choose what time you want your meal to be ready. That means that you can set the sous vide in the morning, it will refrigerate it until you tell it it's time to cook, and then it will cook. So if you want dinner at 7, the food will be ready at 7. There are over 15 cook modes, including air fry and slow cook, so you have options when it comes to what you wanna make. And they have a reheat option, which is especially helpful if you're like me and you don't have a microwave. I have used that one many, many times. So you can use the sous vide on its own to cook whatever you want, but they also do have this amazing meal delivery kit service. The meals come frozen, prepped, and ready to cook. All you need is olive oil, salt, and pepper on hand. Sous vide meals live in your freezer, so you can keep them for as long as you need. And there are tons of options with what to eat, so it never gets boring. I've done other meal kits in the past and I love them, but the problem is that everything comes fresh, and if you don't cook them fast enough, they're gonna spoil. All of Sous vide meals come frozen, so they're ready to cook whenever you're ready. Sous vide has over 50 chef-created meals with new items added every week. They're quick, they're easy, they're delicious. But just to note that just because they have this amazing meal delivery kit service, you don't need to use it. The Suvie itself is an amazing gadget to have on its own for whatever you need in your kitchen. Suvie's New Year's sale is going on now, so you can save $100 and get 20 free meals before it ends. And as always, you can try it at home, risk-free for 100 days. So you might as well give it a try.
Hello, my name is Victoria, and I am a Polish Canadian now living permanently in southeastern Poland. The dish that I would like to share with you today is a dish that is very sentimental to me since my late mom would make it for me when I was a child. It's a sweet omelette, or omelette na słodko. Start by heating up your pan to low heat since making the omelette will be very quick. First, separate your eggs. Beat the egg whites until they're foamy, then add the powdered sugar.
Foamy.
Beat this mixture into stiff peaks. Then add the egg yolks and mix very briefly. I would say not more than 5 seconds. You want the mixture to be as fluffy as possible, so don't overmix. Finally, add the flour and fold it in with a spatula.
What am I doing?
Put a small pat of butter in the pan and let it melt. Then spread the batter into a rather thick circle. I would definitely suggest making it thicker rather than thinner because it is very delicate, and the thinner it is, the more difficult it will be to flip, in my experience.
Ooh, pretty.
You can top this omelette with anything you like, even just powdered sugar, but my childhood favorite was a layer of plum butter topped with either sour cream or twaróg, which is farmer's cheese, a kind of dry cottage cheese, sweetened with vanilla sugar.
I'll just use my hands.
Yeah, who cares?
It's my omelet.
There is something so amazing about the balance of tartness and sweetness and creaminess in this combination, so I hope you try it. I think this is a really fantastic recipe because it's extremely simple and uses pantry staples and takes just a few minutes to make. Smacznego!
I'm either going to love or hate this because a dessert omelet is not something that I've ever considered, but I'm about to. So I love this. I love this so much. Like, it tastes like a cake, actually. The sour cream and the jam and the fluffy egg is the most delightful combination. I love this. I never would have expected that a sweet omelet would taste this good. I think that if you don't have plum jam, you could obviously use any kind of jam, but what I love about plum jam is that it's not super sweet. I have plum jam because I used it when I made my Polish gingerbread cake, which I will leave a link to in the description. It's an incredible cake that took a week to ferment in the fridge. Anyway, I had the jam. Ooh, I don't have time to talk. I honestly feel like you could serve this as a dessert because it really does feel like a cake. It doesn't feel like I'm eating an omelet. I'm so glad that I did this episode just so I could be introduced to this dish because it's that good.
Hi Beryl, I'm Ana Carolina. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I want to recommend a recipe as I heard you're craving omelette. The recipe is called Crepioca, and I think you will love it. Crepioca is basically the twist on our original tapioca recipe. It's a healthier version as you add the protein of the egg. It's quite handy because you can use anything you have on your fridge, anything you prefer. I honestly love the ham and cheese version, also the cheese with chicken. It's also very good, but really the sky's the limit when you're doing it. The recipe is very straightforward. You just mix 1 egg with 2 tablespoons of the tapioca starch, add a pinch of salt, pour into a hot non-stick pan and cook for about a minute on each side, and that's it.
That's done. It didn't look ready, so I just kept waiting and waiting, and then when I went to jiggle it, so if you're gonna try making this, it's not gonna necessarily look like it's ready to flip, but it will be. Please don't be stuck. Get it, Leia, get it.
I mean, it's not the prettiest, but...
No, it totally worked.
Hooray.
You got it out. A better woman than I.
No.
And then for the most fun part is that you can fill with whatever you have on your fridge. Tapioca is something that is very traditional in the northeast of Brazil. It's also where my mom is from. So I really like making that, as I feel that I'm bringing a piece of home here in Ireland. My Finnish boyfriend loves it. So I really think you should try it. I think you will like it.
I'm definitely interested in what this is going to taste like because the eggs and the tapioca became kind of like a dough. Whoa. It's got a dough-like texture to it. It doesn't have that springiness that an omelet tends to have. It's a lot more solid, like through and through. The combination of the cream cheese and the chicken with the omelet is actually really interesting. I would have never thought to put chicken in an omelet before. It's really the texture of the omelet itself that I'm finding to be so interesting. I think the texture is something that's really different and it might not be for everybody. Personally for me, like, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. It's something that I've never had before and so it's something new and it takes like a moment to get used to it, you know what I mean? However, I love the idea of it. Making it was super simple and it was a cool way to use an ingredient that I already had in my house.
Hey Beryl, my name is Emily and I'm from Santa Cruz, California in the United States. Since you're craving omelets, I'd like to recommend my recipe to you because it has a very unique flavor profile. It's super simple to make and you get a little bit of extra protein from the yogurt that's on top. My recipe is eggs that you'll scramble in a bowl with some yellow curry spice, a little bit of salt, chili flake, maybe some paprika if you're feeling fancy. For a tender omelet, definitely do not be afraid of butter. I'll usually add at least a tablespoon that I melt in my pan before I pour my scrambled eggs in. Then I cook my eggs on a low heat, and once my omelet is done, I top it with some fresh dill, a few dollops of plain yogurt, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and a tiny bit of lemon juice or olive oil if I'm feeling fancy. This omelet tastes very savory, but it's still delicate and full of flavor. Like every bite is a little bit adventurous. And the fresh dill and yogurt that you put on top adds a richness while also rounding out the curry spice. I think that this recipe challenges and brings to life everything that eggs can be. I think that you should try this at home because it uses many ingredients that you probably already have but never thought to put in your eggs before. I think it's a super quick and easy way to make a very flavorful breakfast. I also think that yellow curry powder and eggs belong together, in my opinion. And then additionally, there are so many ways that you can modify this recipe to make it your own variation. You could try adding paprika, cumin, shallots, parsley. Just throw it in there, see what happens. Thanks so much for having me, Beryl, and I can't wait to see you try this.
I never would have thought to put curry in an omelet, but I like the smell of this, so I'm pretty intrigued. Oh my God, I love this. That is so surprising. I would have never thought to do this. I really like the yogurt on top and the sprinkle of nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is not something that I work with often, but it's a vegan cheese substitute, so it has that kind of nutty, cheesy flavor. It's a little bit salty. This is delicious. Curry in an omelet? Who would have thought? I like this type of omelet when you can just cook it on one side and fold it over and you don't have to stuff it, because sometimes stuffing omelets can be like really complicated. But this one, everything goes on top, so it's nice and easy. I would definitely recommend you guys try this. I just love it. It hits all the notes of savoriness that I want in the morning, but there's a little bit of sweetness because I personally find egg yolks to be just a little bit sweet. Oh, I have to say, since getting pregnant, I'm like out of breath all the time. And when I talk a lot on camera, I'm like, I'm trying to breathe. Anyway, There's a little bit of sweetness, which I think is really nice. And overall, like I've said this already, I think 3 times, but love this omelet. 10 out of 10, would make again.
Hi, I'm Alifiyah from San Diego, California. I grew up in Tanzania in East Africa, and I'm here to talk about a very common street food known as chipsi mayai. In Swahili, chips refers to as fries and mayai translates to eggs. This is a very simple recipe made with very basic common ingredients found in every household. It is as simple as it sounds. It's basically fries in an omelette. You start with frying up some sliced potatoes, add some salt, set them aside, and then beat some eggs. You can add some finely chopped onions, cilantros, tomatoes, green chilies, some salt, and a dash of chili powder. You heat up a pan, add some oil, layer the pan with the fries, pour the egg mixture on the top, let it cook about 3/4 of the way, and then flip it once, and it's ready to serve. It also tastes great with plain old tomato ketchup. My personal favorite is the traditional locally made garlic chili sauce. I just love the combination of the omelette and the spiciness of that specific garlic chili sauce. This is a very filling, inexpensive recipe that is loaded with carbs and protein, making it a great breakfast for a hardworking day ahead. It is very comforting and can be easily put together quickly. This is a very traditional Tanzanian street food, and I'm so glad I was able to introduce it to all of you. I hope you like it.
I resurrected this recipe from the archives because I did it so long ago that I'm assuming a lot of you do not remember or never saw it. It's a French fry omelet, you know? Like French fries and omelets, it just feels like the perfect combination. And I forgot the Maggie hot and sweet. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Gotta have my Maggie hot and sweet. We're almost done with this big boy. It's been a hot minute. Na, 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 na. It's so delicious. Putting French fries in your omelet, it's just like having hash browns on the side, but putting them not on the side. That was very deep. I think what I like most about this is the inclusion of the onions and the tomato and the cilantro and the green chili, because there's so much flavor to the omelet. Even putting in a little bit of the red chili powder on the end there, it just adds a kick that omelets tend to not get, which is one of the reasons that makes it, I think, so flavorful. You're just adding tons of flavor. And the French fries add such a nice texture. The other thing that I like about this omelet is the different textures that you have going on between the crunchy / soft French fries, the spongy omelet, the crunchy onions, and the soft tomatoes. Everything just kind of comes together and gives you this playful bite on your tongue, and just like, it's great, I don't know. Street food is good for a reason, you know? And this as a street food makes perfect sense to me. This is the kind of thing that you just want to keep eating and eating. If you like omelets and you like potatoes, just put them together like this, and it's really good. The babies and I were very happy this week to have some new omelets to try and to include in our repertoire. I said our, as if they're cooking. Don't forget that all the recipes are on my website, beryl.nyc. Let me know in the comments which of these you might consider trying. Definitely try the Polish one and the curry one. Those two were my hands down absolute favorites of the episode. And like and subscribe, it helps support the channel and everything that we do here. Until next week, I'm leaving you with my breakfast episode and another egg episode, and I will see you all later.